Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Lion Design Podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Came to me, highly recommended, and currently operating one of very few TSR compliant credit and financial businesses. His name is Mr. Joshua Mathews. He owns Independence Boost. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mr. Josh Mathews. Hey, Josh, how are you doing today?
What's up, Kevin? I'm great. How about yourself?
I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and being a guest. I appreciate it. Like I said, you came highly recommended. And yeah, so why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So, and also, first off, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Haven't been on a podcast in a few years, so it's pretty refreshing. So, but myself, I'm Josh, from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm an entrepreneur here and the owner of Independence Boost. In business, been in business, entrepreneurship, been interested doing it since I was 19 years old. So I'm 28 now. So um, I love business. I love building businesses. I love what comes with it. So that's me.
Yeah. I mean, definitely entrepreneurship is something that's in your blood and in your spirit. It's a certain kind of person that um, can take on the task of running your own business. So that's one thing I found is not a lot of people have just started one business. They're usually doing all kinds of things. So yeah, tell me about that. Like, tell me, like, what was the first business you started? What was the idea and brainchild behind it? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I first got introduced when I want to say like the mindset of business when I was 19. I got started with network marketing. So I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that can probably relate. I got started with network marketing. Of course, went to the home event, but the biggest thing for me was I got introduced to uh, the mindset about money, about just pursuing your dreams, and that's what I really fell in love with, and the public speaking part of it. And I was like, man, this is like a totally different world. So that's how I initially got introduced to entrepreneurship. So I did that for a few years, but I didn't actually start my own business until I was about 21 years old, and
Mm.
I started a digital agency. Um, and basically that came about because I just bought a course, $1,000 course, taught me how to start an agency because I was done with network marketing,
Yep.
and been at it ever since.
So the digital agency, I know you told me a little bit ago, it was a digital marketing agency, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's a great field to get into. A lot of people need help with that. So
Yeah.
that's super cool. And so now you have Independence Boost, right? Which is kind of a overarching financial company, if I understand correct. Like you have some elements of credit repair and some elements of debt settlement and uh,
Yep.
funding and some things like that. So tell me about the transition from digital marketing into the financial space.
Yeah, so it kind of started during the pandemic. That's when the transition started because when I had my marketing agency, I was working with chiropractors.
Uh,
So once COVID hit, basically what happened was we stopped charging all of our clients. So we went from having clients making money to not making no money at all for,
yeah.
for a few months. So you can only imagine what's going through a young business owner's head when that came about. So with that, I started to think about, okay, not necessarily I wanted to make the transition, but naturally I started thinking, okay, what could I transition to if this doesn't work out? Because for a lot of us, what was to come was unforeseen. We didn't know. It was the first time something ever like that ever happened, so we didn't know what to do.
Uh,
Um, so that's when I got introduced to credit, though, in terms of, oh, I can start that as a business, and it sparked with me just because a few years prior I bought a course over how to get access to credit cards and how to fix your credit up, and I did it for myself personally, and I
mhm.
had success. So immediately I was like, well, sort of a skill. I kind of got my foot in the door, and let's go towards it. So that was an idea, but then what happened was about a few months later, things start to open up. Chiropractic offices started to be able to take on, have people come in again. So went back fully focused on the marketing side of things with working with chiropractors. And then it wasn't until I made the full shift until the beginning of 2021, just because I had a business partner. During that time, we brought in another business partner who wasn't really who he says he was. And it kind of just messed up the whole synergy of what me and my previous business partner had going.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just pretty much fed up. And I was like, I'm going to go do my own thing. And that's when Independence Boost was born in January of 2021.
That's awesome. There's so much to unpack there, because and I say that because one, you brought up a really key thing that I think a lot of entrepreneurs um, either should or do understand, and that's the ability to be agile and be able to pivot. If you need to go from one thing to another,
Mm-hmm.
that was that had to be really cool to just have the agility, mentally, emotionally, financially, to be able to pivot from digital marketing into the financial space. And the cool thing is you actually had the foresight to say, okay, right now during this pandemic, this isn't really going to be sustainable. I don't have, like you said, clients weren't coming in, people weren't being able to go to the chiropractor's office, and so I mean, you made a real good agile decision to say, okay, I also learned about the credit thing, and it worked for me, and also there's a business opportunity there, and that's really cool. And then you know you talked about one of the challenges you faced in the unfortunate circumstance of a particular business partner, whatever that was, and you were able to again pivot and make some decisions that allowed you to overcome that particular challenge. And so that's really cool too. There's a lot of cool parts to that story. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And then, of course, you brought yourself into TSR compliance. For those of you that don't know, TSR I think stands for telemarketing sales rule, or telesales rule, and it really governs a lot about the way, especially with financial industry, the way that you can sell online or over the phone, or how you conduct your process through that. So tell me a little bit about that, the journey from starting your financial company, and then moving it to being the TSR compliant business that it is now.
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, when I first started, I knew I just need to like get clients, get things going. But I would always hear, I would be in these different Facebook groups and I would hear, you got to watch out about the laws. You got to be conscious of how you're actually performing your services. So that was always in the back of my mind as I was building. Now, I would say is that as I was going along that process before I fully got introduced of what it meant to be fully compliant, um, I just always had something in the back of my mind because I had YouTube videos starting to blow up and I had people from different states hit me up. And I actually turned away like a lot of clients because I was like, inside, I was like, I'm actually scared to get big. I'm scared to grow my business really fast because I know for a fact there's some things that I quite just don't have right yet. So over the course of a few years, had that in the back of my mind. I was still taking on clients where I'm at. And before I knew when things blow up, I need to get right. So it wasn't until this past summer where I got introduced to Matt. But I got introduced to him through Jeff, and I don't even know how I found Jeff. I just ended up in his Facebook group.
Yep.
Have no idea how, but ended up in the Facebook group, which then led me to getting introduced to Matt. And I was like on a webinar, and I believe you were
Yep.
on that Zoom call, and Matt was just going on and basically giving the warnings out there for credit professionals of what's to come. And it kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. Like on that call, I had a thousand thoughts per minute going through my mind. Like, man, should I actually continue with this business? There's so many things I need to implement that I don't have implemented. Also, thank God I didn't blow up because this would have been a huge nightmare.
Yeah.
um, So right when I heard that though, I just made the decision. I was okay. I'm gonna figure this out. If I do figure this, when I do figure this out, I want to be separated from everyone else in the industry. Um, and I'm going to be the trusted source. I just made that decision in my mind. So that was back at the end of April, May. So almost coming up on a year now. Um, but also what came with that is I decided that until I get all of this figured out, I'm actually not going to take on any more clients. Because of course, you're one complaint away from getting sued, or you're one complaint away from just your whole business crumbling to the ground because it's not going to be able to withstand what's to come.
Yep.
So I decided I'm going to take 6 months of just, actually, I didn't even decide 6 months. It just happened to be 6 months, but I was like, I'm just going to take this time to not take on any clients. I'm going to figure out this thing. I'm going to figure out how to get it right, get it compliant. And that's what I did by the beginning of January, um, which of course, 6 months not taking on any clients is pretty tough. But luckily, I had my marketing skills and whatnot that I could withstand that because I had other ways to make money.
Yep.
So,
Awesome. So, also, talk about like from when you started your financial company, uh, what what changes did you have to implement to get in compliance? Because I know there's a lot, like you said, you see people in all the groups all the time, and there, I believe that there's a lot of good people out there that just don't have the information. So, what what changes did you make? Like, if you can maybe name a couple notable things like that you had to make to be in compliance.
yeah. So, first and foremost, not taking on any clients that I am not, whatever state they reside in, do not take them on as a client. That's just one. If I don't have a license for that state, don't take them on as a client.
Yep.
That's number one. That's just like the main rule that any credit professional should know about.
Yep.
Two, no more phone sales. So, even if I do have a phone sale, I need to have it set up to where basically the client pays, but I don't see that money until 6 months later, and I can prove that I can show a result.
Yep.
Um, so if you're taking payment over the phone and you're getting that money immediately before performing the work, you're not a compliant. So that's number one. So which then took me to only taking on clients that are local, because when I take on clients that are local and I actually meet with them in person, give them a full presentation, go over all expectations, then I'm exempt from that TSR rule.
Yep.
So that was the major shift. So even now, I just got an office about a month and a half ago, where I meet with all my clients. So those are the biggest changes that needed to happen.
Yeah. And I think there's also a lot of good in that, obviously legal good, because then, you're compliant and you're gonna shield yourself from legal action, right? Whether it's fines or penalties or lawsuits. But like you said, you're only taking on local clients and you're only operating in the states that you're licensed in, which may even just be the state you live in. What's cool about that is you got an office, like you said, and when you're gonna talk to clients, I mean, there's such an added level of legitimacy there when someone can go to your office and like sit and talk to you face to face in your office, like that adds a whole extra level of professionalism and trustworthiness, like you instantly feel like, hey, this guy ain't going to be going anywhere. I can go to his office and go see him. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to help some too, because I know there's a lot of people that are afraid of selling locally or don't want to sell locally. Maybe they don't feel like there's enough market locally, but there really is. If you one, like you said, know how to market and just get out there locally, get your local SEO up, and then have an office like a where people can literally physically see you, like that's it right there. So
Yeah.
you've done a really good job of exemplifying what a financial company or a company operating in the financial space should be.
Mhm.
That's really really cool. That and so um tell me like about Tell me about your website. Like, tell me about how people reach out to you. I know you're only taking local clients, but if people want to refer people to you, tell people about how they can reach out to you and what that process looks like.
Yeah, so you can go to independenceboost.com. So if the person is local and they want a consultation, or even I still do phone consultations because I have other products that aren't necessarily credit repair that, you know, could be a benefit to someone. So if anyone ever wants to get on my calendar, they can just go to independenceboost.com, schedule a consultation with me, and figure out exactly what their needs are, and I'll do my best to lead them in the right direction.
Hmm.
Also coming up, I'm about to be releasing a free uh free community to people where basically I will be just giving it advice, guidance, even if someone wants to do credit repair themselves. I'll also, when they join the community, they'll have a free course they can access. So that'll be releasing in about a week. But if you want to get on my phone calendar, then just go to independenceboost.com and I'll lead them in the right direction.
Definitely. And guys, remember that the name is right above Joshua there, Independence Boost. You know, Joshua is an expert in the financial industries, taking courses and classes and been operating for a few years now. Also, as I noted, he's one of the only TSR compliant uh, companies out there. So reach out to Josh. And I love the fact that you're going to be bringing a community, and then a free, and it's a free community because, like they say, give a man a fish, feed him once, teach a man
Mm.
to fish, feed him for a lifetime. So uh, I love that aspect of giving back and, just providing the resources. I think a lot of people in the credit repair and debt settlement space that operate as a business in the space know that, hey, anybody can do this. Like, you don't, like, you anybody can go and do it for themselves. A lot of people, general public, don't know that, so the fact that you're going to provide a community to educate people is awesome. And one of the things I found out in business is the more um, information you drop, the more you help people. And, people say, oh, don't give away the game, don't give away the bag. Like, I don't think that way. Like, because what I found, especially in the website space, is if I'm willing to just talk to people and help them, like they got questions, they reach out, ask me, I'll answer any questions that you have, because either A, that's going to help them, that's what they need, and boom, they're happy, leaves a good impression with them about my business. But if they still find that they can't do it, they might still come back and hire me,
Yep.
because they know that I know what I'm doing. So
Yep.
I that's why that community idea is very cool, because either only good things are going to come of it. Either A, you're going to be helping people do for themselves what they might not have otherwise been able to do, or they're going to say, okay, Joshua definitely knows what he's talking about. He's got this course. He's helped me answer questions. I'm just not there. I don't have the time. I don't, whatever. Let me reach out to Joshua and see if he can take this on for me. And even like you said, if you only operate locally, you might have people that operate where they are, so even if you don't personally take them on, you could probably refer them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And
So,
that's
oh, go ahead.
so that, yeah, what you're saying is all true. And even with giving away the game, it's in my mind, especially with my theme this year, is just be of service
Mhm.
to the people that I'm here to serve. So that's really the main goal, especially in this space. You have to be service driven, just because for one, it's such an intimate situation that people are dealing with, and the more that you show that you care, um, people will want to do business with you forever, and you'll be top of mind every single time, no questions asked. So that's the whole goal.
Yeah. That's a a piece of entrepreneurship that sometimes doesn't get talked about, and that's what I think in church. I go to church a lot. They call a servant's heart.
Yep.
Like you said, be of service. have a servant's heart, because it will only reward you in the long run. Even though you're doing work and like answering questions and doing all that, what it comes back tenfold. So that's super super cool. And so I don't know how much you can talk about the community, but is it? Can you tell me about it? Like, is it going to be like social media community? Is it going to be on Facebook or whatever, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, or is it going to be a specific separate thing?
Yeah, so the community will be, it won't be hosted in like, it won't be like a Facebook group or anything. It'll be outside of the social media platforms. One, just because as we seen the other day with Facebook shutting down, I just refuse to be held hostage by by Facebook or
Right.
Instagram or any other of the platforms. So it'll be my own platform. Um, Actually, I would say when someone's watching this now, in my Facebook, the link's actually in my Facebook right now.
Mm.
I just actually got to record the course content today, so that's my plan today to record that. Um, but you can join the group at any time. Just name, number, email. You'll get immediate access to everything. Also, be able to ask questions to me. There'll also be a community of other people in there in a similar situation to be able to share wins, ask questions, collaborate. Um, so like I said, it'll be released officially this week, maybe next week, but I'll have it posted everywhere. And when someone gets into the group, one of the biggest things with the course that I'll have in it is called the Better Credit Blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll literally be outlining step by step what to do in terms of uh, improving your credit. Literally, what I do for my clients, if they're paying me, I'm going to be explaining that, and I'll provide you with a super, super cool AI credit repair software. I've used a few of them out there in the past year or two. This is by far the most advanced, and the software's free to use. You just got to pay for the credit monitoring. And I'll be laying out exactly how to use it, and someone can, if they don't want to pay me, they can just do it themselves. So, just providing all the resources to help someone become successful.
Awesome. So anybody watching this live or anybody catching the replay, head over to Joshua Mathews' profile page. If you're not friends, add him as a friend. Click the link and check out the platform. Check out independenceboost.com. There's a lot of resources. I was actually on there just before we went live. You can check out the resources tab. Or like you said, right on his homepage, he's got a booking tool. So if you want to book a consultation, you want to ask him questions, certainly hit him up on Facebook or book a call through his website there, whether it's a call or a consultation. And yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm going to check out that platform. I'm going to get my name and email in there and join, because there's probably a lot of good information in there for everybody. So definitely hit that up. And then, another thing, so tell people a fun fact about you, like what's something cool about you, or what's something that you love. What do you do for fun? Something like that.
Yeah, so random cool fact, I know how to juggle. Uh when I
Yeah,
when
I won't put you on the spot to ask, but uh,
yeah,
I can't
yes.
juggle.
I it was probably about, this is back when I was like in high school. I was like super bored just in the house, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go to YouTube and learn how to juggle. And so I spent 2 days just figuring it out. I can only juggle three balls though, so
Yeah,
no more than that. But I spent like 2 days straight just practicing.
that's three
Which
more than me.
yeah, yeah, but which goes to say though, and that's with any skill. That's even with how I learn credit or how I learn marketing. You invest the time to learn the thing, you practice the thing, and then you're able to do the thing. Um, so yeah, that's a random fact about me. But really, on a day to day basis, just for me and what I want to be able to do, I love to travel. Love to go to events. So I love going to conferences and whatnot. That's like, when I tell people that, to me it kind of sounds boring when I'm telling people, but to me it's like actually really fun. I just love connecting with people in person, learning new things, and then being able to apply the thing.
Yeah,
So that's one of my hobbies.
conferences can be really cool, man. For church, I go to the men's conference and I do different things. But yeah, like you said, anytime you go to a conference, it's cool because you can connect with like-minded people. Whatever that conference is, like a lot of people don't know that when you think of like uh, Credit Con, Super Con, Comic Con, those are conferences. The
Mhm.
con is short for conferences, and anybody that's been to like Comic Con,
Mhm.
nobody would ever say that's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, so and like you said, it can be just whatever you're into. I mean, if you want to go to a financial conference, you want to go to a business leader conference, entrepreneur conference, whatever you're into, yeah, conferences are really cool. That
Yeah,
is a cool fact, and it gives you a travel opportunity too to go to wherever the
exactly.
conference is.
Exactly. And that's what I love about it. And also a secret hack, secretly why I also love them is because I'm able to uh, make friends. So now if I go to a different state outside the conference, I have connections and friends I can contact when I go to that state. So um because when I travel, I don't like doing the touristy things. I'm just not a touristy type of guy. I like to go where the locals be. So
Hmm.
I love connecting at those events and then having people I can contact when I go to certain states and cities. So
Yeah,
that's my little
yeah, you can't really get what a community or a city or whatever is about just by hitting the tourist attractions, because to me that's like going to Instagram. You're looking at a curated version of the city, but like you said, if you go where the locals be, like
Mm,
you're
it's
gonna
the most fun.
you get what's real about it, and sometimes what's real is better than the curated version.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
totally agree.
I totally agree. Awesome. So plug your business, man, before we hop off. Tell people, you know, how to reach out, how to get a hold of you, what you got to offer. Uh,
Yeah.
Plug it away.
Yeah, so you can find my business profiles, Independence Boost, everywhere, all social media. Or if you just want to get in contact with me directly, Joshua Mathews on Facebook, Josh C. Mathews on Instagram. You can just type in Joshua Mathews, you'll find me. But basically, like I said, I help for one with credit. If credit, if credit repair, credit advocacy isn't the thing that you need right now, I also have debt settlement options, or if you're looking for business funding, I have connections to lenders that can potentially get you access to funding for your business. And then again, like we mentioned earlier, I'll be releasing a free group where just be free value, just to serve. So I have different levels of engagement within my business. So wherever you fit in or wherever you want to fit in, I'm sure I have a place for you. So
Awesome. My brother always says, "Get in where you fit in." You know. So
yep.
yeah, that is really cool. It's been really great talking to you today, Josh. You've dropped a lot of good knowledge, and I'm really excited to see where Independence Boost goes from here. I think it's only up. You've got a lot of avenues, like you said, with your debt options, credit options, funding options. Like, yeah, it seems like you are a truly good one-stop shop for financial resources. So it's been really great talking to you. It was awesome learning that you know how to juggle, and kind of makes me jealous a little bit, but awesome. Well, guys, we're going to sign off for now, and everybody have a great day, and catch us on our next live podcast. Thank you very much.